CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to CBS Sports here in the National Football League here, and we got a fun matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons here to take each other on Week 16 here on CBS here in the National Football League. Welcome inside the booth. I'm Tyler McPherson. Here we are, the Battle of the Birds here in the NFL. We got the Ravens with Lamar Jackson to start. Actually, Joe Flacco today, and Matt Ryan to take each other. Two high-powered quarterbacks leading two power-packed offenses and defenses here today in Week 16. And this will be a fun matchup here on CBS in the National Football League here. Welcome to M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. We got a matchup in Baltimore between the Ravens and the Falcons here on CBS Week 16 here in the National Football League. Ravens won the toss, so they had deferred, so Atlanta will get the ball to start here today. Chris Tucker kicks it away. Marvin Hall around the end zone, and here we go. Hall with a good return. Close to about the 30-yard line. He's at the 28-yard line of the Ravens. And Atlanta is on the field with Matt Ryan leading the Falcons offense. Last week coming off a win against Jacksonville. And what a game that was on Fox. Ryan to start with a throw. Finds his man. That's Julio Jones. Down near the Baltimore at the Baltimore 45. At the Baltimore 50, actually. Maryland Humphrey was on the coverage on Julio Jones, and Julio makes a great catch against Humphreys. A good start to the day for Julio. Play action wide open is Julio Jones, his second catch of the game. Close to about at the 35-yard line. On the play action passing, and Julio gets in there over the middle. This is a guy that can really fly. He's 250 pounds, and he runs a 4.3 he plays a lot of man against a lot of man coverage with safety help over the top to all these defenders in the National Football League. And another pass completed to Taylor Gabriel down near the Baltimore 16-yard line for another Atlanta first down. There you go. You've seen these receivers last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Taylor Gabriel, who scored a 75-yard touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And what a game that was! And for Atlanta to climb back into that game, almost about to trail early. The action pass is caught. Gabriel will run into the end zone for the touchdown. Gabriel with a 75-yard TD against the Ravens, a 47-yarder against the Broncos, and this is a 30-yard touchdown pass for Taylor Gabriel. Gabriel is explosive over this passing game for Matt Ryan. He was able to outflank his man and makes a great catch against Eric Weddle. What a start for the Falcons to get a touchdown here in the first half against Baltimore. And Bryant's kick is good. 7-0 here on CBS. Here's Bryant to kick it away. And Jackson and the Ravens with Chris Moore back deep for Baltimore. And Chris Moore gets taken down by the punter Matt Barsha. It makes a nice hit on Moore, and here comes Joe Flacco to start on offense today against the Ravens. The Falcons. Flacco to start with a throw over the middle. Pass is caught. John Brown, who's become a major weapon for Joe Flacco, gain of 6 yards on the catch. He was brought down by Deion Jones inside the 30. Great blocking for the offensive line. This is where the Ravens are really, really good in this passing game. We've seen them against the Cleveland Browns. Wide open, Alex Collins for a first down against the Falcons. Alex Collins, who's good in the passing game, who we saw last week against the Cleveland Browns. A nice play for Collins, and he's down at the 40-yard line of Atlanta. Patrick Richard, the fullback's in there, at Nick Boyle, in that tight end, in motion. On a screen to Alex Collins, no one out there, but he gets whacked by Brian Poole, the nickelback. We saw Brian Poole hasn't had a lot of playing action on the field lately. But for this defensive, for the secondary, DeMonte Casey, who leads the league in interceptions, career high of 7 interceptions of the year. Pass is caught by John Brown. What a catch and throw by Joe Flacco and John Brown for another Baltimore first down. This offensive line is really great for Joe Flacco. Able to give him a lot of time in the pocket to throw that pass. And Atlanta's trying to find answers to stop these receivers for Joe Flacco. Wide open, Alex Collins for 2 yards on the catch and run. And it's it's only a gain of 2 yards, so it's second down at 8. Again, for Baltimore. The offense is on the move. And now to Collins. First down. Trying to get the first down, has a gain of 7 yards. Third down and 1. And at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter's underway. Here's Alex Collins in the backfield. Falcons are lined up in man-to-man coverage. And Flacco is sacked. Back on Atlanta's side of the 50. Vic Beasley, who leads the league in sacks, has his first for this game in Week 16. Some notable free agents for both of these teams. You got 2 Oakland Raiders here for both of these teams. You got Bruce Irvin and Michael Crabtree, 2 magnificent Oakland Raider players who was recently signed by both of these teams later in the season in free agency. Play clock is down to 3, and Cock kicks it away. Interesting, Ricardo Allen to receive inside the 20, only for a rush for 9 yards, and Atlanta back on the field. After that 3-and-out, handoff to Freeman over the middle, keep on trucking, and Freeman has a first down. They are bringing back memories of this offensive line when they were really, really good. Chris Lindstrom, the right guard, and Ryan Strader, the tackle, who's ranked as number 2 right tackle in all of football for this offense to do so. Wide open, and it's in and out of the hands of Austin Hooper, who is absolutely wide open. Matt Ryan threw a beautiful pass, but Austin Hooper couldn't quite haul that in. It was a nice deep pass for Austin Hooper, who's working against Eric Weddle and Terrell Suggs. 2 magnificent defensive backfield players for the Ravens. Ryan has a world of time, and pass is caught somehow by Mohamed Sanu inside the 45 for another Atlanta first down. How about the year for Mohamed Sanu, who played second fiddle to A.J. Green in Cincinnati? Now he's second fiddle to Julio Jones, and he's been another weapon in Matt Ryan's arsenal. His first catch for 15 yards. Freeman out of the backfield. Ryan throws it deep for Taylor Gabriel, and it's incomplete. Not a good throw, but Taylor Gabriel was well covered. The Ravens were lined up in zone coverage. Matt Ryan knows that, and he throws a deep pass that could have been almost picked off. Gabriel was absolutely well covered by this defensive backfield for Baltimore. Play action, Ryan throws a low pass, and it's somehow in the hands of Gabriel for an Atlanta first down. And Atlanta used their first timeout of the half with 38 seconds left on the clock. He's been a big weapon so far for this offense. And Taylor Gabriel somehow sneaks that one in. And C.J. Mosley brings him down. And Anthony Levine Sr. looked like he was trying to make a play between periods. Meanwhile, downfield, Julio Jones, well covered by Baltimore, and Humphrey was in on the stop of Julio. 2nd and 10 after the timeout. Ryan fires, pass is caught. Taylor Gabriel diving, touchdown. This is his 2nd touchdown of the game for Taylor Gabriel. He was wide open off the play action. Eric Weddle got tripped up, and he couldn't be able to make that stop. And what a start for Taylor Gabriel for this offense. And his offense is taking it to him early. And the CBS halftime report is going to be coming up soon. If Baltimore wants to climb back into this game, that means stopping these receivers from Matt Ryan, especially Taylor Gabriel, who already scored 2 touchdowns in this game. Who already scored a big touchdown a week ago against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a 75-yard touchdown catch and run for Gabriel, who never had a 100-yard game in the NFL before. Handoff to Collins, nowhere to go. Dropped at the line of scrimmage by Vic Beasley. They are bringing back memories of this defensive line when they're really, really good. Teams around the NFL has been talking about this defense, especially Vic Beasley, who came in as a first-round pick out of Clemson in 2015, and he's been a big weapon so far. He led the league in 2016 and 15 and a half sacks. And he already leads the league in sacks this season. Handoff to Alex Collins, and it's whacked by Ricardo Allen for a gain of 6 with a timeout by the Ravens. Alex Collins has a nice gaping hole to run through, and this offensive line is really clicking. A nice start to the day for Atlanta. 2 touchdown passes for Matt Ryan, and that's been a big development so far for Ryan, who's having an MVP-like season. Flacco gets sacked again. Guess who? Vic Beasley, number 44. And the CBS halftime report is here. What a day for the Atlanta Falcons, especially for the defense. Vic Beasley has 2 sacks in this game, and he's a powerful defensive end for Atlanta. We talked about him early in the year, and he leads the league in sacks this year. And especially on offense, you got Taylor Gabriel, who got no answers for him, and he already scored the big touchdown a week ago, a 75-yard touchdown pass and strike for a touchdown against Jacksonville. There's no way you're going to be able to stop Gabriel once he gets so far down the field with his speed. He's a player that can blow the top off the defense. We see the job that he does getting down the field, but Matt Ryan has to throw this ball perfectly and allow Gabriel to go get it. The coverage wasn't really that bad by Baltimore. If Baltimore wants to climb back into this game, they got to figure out how to find answers to stop Matt Ryan in the Atlanta offense here in the second half. And this is a 14-0 halftime lead. The start of the third quarter in the second half. Ravens did win the toss, so they had the third. So they'll get the ball to start the second half. And here we go with Chris Moore taking a knee, and the Baltimore Ravens are set up at the 25. Joe Flacco talked about it early in the week, trying to face the Atlanta Falcons. He wants to get the ball out quick and prevent any turnovers. And he is sacked again to start the second half with a sack, with an 8-yard loss. Vic Beasley, 3 career sacks today in this game. You got 2 guys assigned to 1. You just cannot get beat outside if you're Vic Beasley. He's a powerful defensive end. We said a moment ago, and he's as tough as they come. And he's a terrific addition for this Atlanta Falcons defensive front. Patrick Richard, the fullback's in there, and stiff arm. Alex Collins is looking for more first down yards. Has a gain of 6. 3rd down and 12 coming up, and Joe Flacco, who got hit after he throws it. Vic Beasley came in from behind him. Luckily, there was no flag on the play. 2 stiff arms, Brian Poole and Deion Jones, who really solidifies this backfield for the Falcons defense. What a nice stiff arm by Alex Collins. 3rd down and long. Passes almost picked off, and that was Brian Poole, the nickelback out of Florida, who couldn't come down with an interception. We talked about Joe Flacco at the start of this game. If he doesn't want to create any turnovers, he's got to make these good, accurate throws. And that ball that was intended for his receiver, Michael Crabtree, the former Oakland Raider, who really is a great fit for this offense, along with Willie Snead, the former New Orleans Saint. And it's handoff to Andre Roberts, who set the Falcons up in great shape inside the 30 of the Ravens. They indicate turning this game around starts with stopping Matt Ryan in the Atlanta offense. Ryan throws it, passes caught by Taylor Gabriel for a first down. This is an awesome receiver for Matt Ryan. What a pickup he was by Thomas Dimitroff. Kyle Shanahan, who came in from Cleveland, spent 2 years with the Atlanta Falcons, and he said, if you may come to the Atlanta Falcons, he said, I'll guarantee you make this team, and that's what he done. Taylor Gabriel is a 4.28 guy. Weddle had to respect him. Empty set for Atlanta. No one open. Ryan rushes it, and Ryan takes it into the end zone for the Atlanta touchdown. A 15-yard rush for a touchdown from Matt Ryan. And Atlanta has gone on top. As Matt Ryan with his first touchdown rush for the year, his second since 2012, comes up with a 15-yard touchdown rush for a touchdown for Ryan. The safeties were reading Matt Ryan's R's. Usually when we see a run like that, it's because the defense is in man coverage. The Ravens are playing zone. Eric Weddle, the safety, had his eyes on Ryan, but couldn't stop him. Meanwhile, Bryant's kick was good for an extra point, with Chris Moore taking a knee, and the Ravens are back on offense. What a drive by Matt Ryan for a 15-yard rush for a touchdown. And Bortles is sacked again. This time it's Grady Jarrett, another Clemson defensive player for the Atlanta Falcons. First guy there was Bruce Irvin, but couldn't bring him down. Grady Jarrett, who really solidifies the defensive line, along with Vic Beasley to complement him. Flacco wants to throw, and he somehow sneaks it in Nick Boyle's hands, for the tight end. KZ was in on the coverage on Boyle, and KZ, who leads the league in interceptions, brings him down for a gain of 6 yards. a San Diego safety who plays a lot of corner for this defense. Fake the handoff, wide open, Willie Snead, and he's taken down by Robert Alford. And Alford refuses Willie Snead to get a first down. Another 3 and out for the Ravens. And Willie Snead gets whacked by Robert Alford. He had a lot of room if Alford doesn't make that stop, and that's a 3 and out. The ex-New Orleans Saint. Cott kicks it away. On the return is Andre Roberts, going to run it out. Anthony Levine. Jimmy Smith was in on the stop. Nice play made by special teams for the Ravens. 1st and 10. Ryan wide open. Julio Jones inside the 34-yard line. A good catch along the sideline for 19 yards and a first down. Ryan goes over 300 yards passing here today. And this time Julio Jones, who was broke out of excellent coverage by Marlon Humphrey. Tevin Coleman in the backfield at fullback. Handoff to Freeman. A nice move along in the inside by Freeman for a gain of 8 yards. They went for a blitz that time. Kenny Young, who was in on the stop. Young comes away injured on that play, but luckily he was able to get up. 2nd and 2 after that. Fires wide. Pass is caught somehow by Austin Hooper, who we saw earlier in the game, who couldn't catch that wide open pass for a first down. But he knows his mistakes. Austin Hooper, who became a great factor. This is why they drafted him. He's working against Anthony Levine, the safety, and C.J. Mosley, the safety. Between periods, Ryan can't find anyone, just throws it in the end zone. It's intercepted by Kenny Young. Exactly what the Ravens needed. A turnover by the Falcons. A nice play by the Ravens. They were in zone coverage. Ryan knows that, but Ryan throws a mistake. That was a ball that was intended for Julio Jones. Mohamed Sanu came in from behind and able to bring him down. And the Ravens are in bad field shape. Joe Flacco has to get that ball quick to prevent a safety. Flacco in the end zone. Throws it, passes caught somehow by Jimmy Brown for a 9-yard reception for a great catch. John Brown, a nice player along to solidify this offense for the Ravens. Good blocking out on the edge by the offensive line. But he gets hit real hard by Devondre Campbell, who we saw hadn't had much playing time on the field early in the season. And he's sacked again. Vic Beasley. What a play. Vic Beasley, what a player. Coming off the block. Has 4 sacks in this game, a career high since 2016. 4 sacks against Joe Flacco. And he's sacked again for another loss. Grady Jarrett this time has a loss of 1 for Joe Flacco. This is a must-convert 4th down and 12 for the Ravens. Pass is caught out of the backfield, and it's not going to work. Alex Collins unable to get the first down, and it's a turnover on downs. Here in M&T Bank Stadium, Atlanta is taking it to him early. Deion Jones and DeMonte Casey came in to create the turnover. These are two dynamic defensive players. Tevin Coleman in the backfield. Inside handoff. Devontae Freeman, touchdown Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. Great blocking by Tevin Coleman. We saw it in the Super Bowl 51. These wide receiver blocks, able to get these running backs to get through any defense in the league. And Devontae Freeman makes a nice spin move on Eric Weddle, and he's able to keep his balance and stay on his feet. And Atlanta builds upon their lead on a 13-yard touchdown run. And the field goal is no good. His first miss since earlier in the season. This is a 27-0 lead with 54 seconds left in game time. Moore takes a knee. Baltimore is having a frustrating afternoon. The Falcons are making this awfully easy here this afternoon. Alex Collins, nowhere to go, bottled up, and dropped back at the line of scrimmage by Brian Poole. We talked about this defense for the Falcons and Brian Poole, who came in from nowhere as an undrafted rookie, and he's a great player to solidify this defense. And that was a hard hit, and the defense celebrates as this game goes on. Patrick Richard, the fullback's in there, and Michael Crabtree in motion. And it's almost picked off by Ricardo Allen, who already had 2 interceptions last week against Cody Kessler and the Jaguars. That nearly could have been another one for Ricardo Allen this time against Joe Flacco. They're down to 10. Pass is caught, but it's nowhere. But he goes nowhere for a gain of 2. It's 4th down, and the Ravens, John Harbaugh wants to go for it on 4th down and 8. If Baltimore can convert on 4th down and 8, then they'll be good for now. This is a must convert 4th down and 8 for the Ravens offense. Collins is in the backfield. 4th down and 8. Gets rid of it. Pass is caught. But Willie Snead, it goes nowhere. It's another turnover on downs. They're 0 for 2 on 4th down in this game. A pass that was caught by Willie Snead, but that could have been for extra yardage. But Robert Alford, who came in on the tackle, nice coverage on Willie Snead. A nice drive picked up by the defense. For Atlanta, 22 seconds left. Handoff to Freeman for another 1st down and more inside the 17 of the Ravens. This offensive line is outstanding throughout the week here on CBS, and they've been a big weapon so far. You got Alex Mack at the center position, who came in from Cleveland. He's a Pro Bowler. Pass is caught by Mohamed Sanu for the touchdown. Well, you know, number 12 catches a touchdown pass against Matt Ryan with 8 seconds left on the clock. Ryan throws a beautiful pass out there for Mohamed Sanu. He was working against Carr and Humphreys to beat them into the end zone. Matt Bryant, who already missed his first field goal, doesn't miss this one. It's a 34-0 game at the end of the quarter. I say this game, the Falcons are going to wrap it up here in Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, what a hard hit by DeMonte Casey. And Atlanta is going to win against the Baltimore Ravens with 6 seconds left on the clock. The Ravens are going to get one last play out of this. And he's sacked again. And the clock continues to run, and it's over. Atlanta wins it with a 34-0 game here on CBS for the National Football League. We'll see you next week on the final regular season game against the New Orleans Saints, and that'll be a great game in the NFC South. Drew Brees and Matt Ryan to face each other off to end the NFL season. Thanks for watching CBS Sports here in the NFL. Goodbye.